all-American canal. It runs through the desert for miles along the California-Mexico border. A monument to the vision of man, the canal is the life-giving artery of water that feeds the vast farm empire of the Imperial Valley of Southern California. Out of this desert wasteland, man's industry has made a flourishing garden. Farming in Imperial Valley is a great industry. Here, a single field of prosaic carrots, or lettuce, or flax, or melons may be worth $500,000. This great agricultural empire is important to the entire United States. Nature never waits. When the crops are ready, they must be harvested. This means manpower, a vast army of farm workers who must be available when needed. And this army of workers comes from our neighbor to the south, from Mexico. For the Imperial Valley of California, like many other farm areas of the great Southwest, is almost entirely dependent on Mexican labor. These workers prepare the land and harvest the food for our tables. And so, all along the border, from Texas to California, Mexican farm workers, braceros they are called, meaning those who work with their hands and arms, are waiting on the Mexican side to be okayed to receive the coveted American work permits or crossing cards. Most of these braceros obey the laws of both countries and wait at the border to enter the United States legally under the treaty between the Mexican and American governments. But there are other braceros who come and go illegally, who jump the fence. These Mexican illegal entrants work in the United States for a while, and upon returning to Mexico, are often robbed of their savings by bandits who infest both sides of the border. It is this problem of human suffering and injustice about which you should know. The following composite case is based upon factual information supplied by the Immigration and Naturalization Service of the United States Department of Justice. These brutal murders of defenseless braceros the latest of a number along the border, spurred two governments to new and drastic efforts. From Mexico City come Colonel Rafael Alvarado, a high official in the Policía Judicial Federal, the FBI of Mexico, and Pablo Rodriguez, one of the PJF's foremost investigators. From Washington come Assistant Commissioner of Immigration John McReynolds and Inspector Jack Burns, who has just finished a tour of duty along the Gulf. These officials of Mexico and of the United States arrived for a meeting at the governor's palace in Mexicali across the border from the California town of Calexico.
We are not talking about bloody shirts or torn hats. We're not talking about that at all. We're talking about the people who lived and died in these clothes.
I know that, sir, but if they cross illegally, what is our responsibility to them?
Most of my people do not cross illegally.
Those who come over with work permits, we protect. And as a matter of fact, most of the ranchers on our side obey these work treaties. They take certified farm workers and pay them legal wages.
These things we know, but some of my people, they are not well educated. They allow themselves to be smuggled across.
I know. And some of my people pay them half wages, conceal them from arrest, make them live in fear, and send them back to the desert to be robbed and killed.
Since these people work together to break the law, we will work together to enforce the law. You've worked with one another before.
Of course.
Oh, Pablo here, sure, we're old friends. We worked on a case together in Brownsville, Texas, years ago. Incidentally, whatever happened to that very pretty girl? She was about 20 years old, the one we picked up in Matamoros?
Oh, yes. Well, the last I heard of her, she was getting much less beautiful in a prison in Tamaulipas.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you wish to continue with these personal reminiscences?
Well, this was an awful pretty girl, senor.
Yes, it certainly was.
Captain, tell them your plan.
Well, I intend to become a bracero. I will appear in Mexicali and be very impatient to come to the United States. Now, I can be very impatient, as you know. So things will occur, and when someone approaches me to be smuggled over the border, why, things will happen.
Fella could get himself killed that way, couldn't he?
Well, this is one of the less attractive aspects of the job.
Well, that sounds good. Now, if Captain Rodriguez will smoke out that end of the situation,
well, what I had in mind, I'll follow Pablo, you see, and I'll nail down all the contacts that he makes. Now, that'll take care of the Mexican side. And as far as the American side is concerned, I thought if I had some illegal crossing permits that are numbered, wherever they turn up, we've got a complete case.
And we may be able to knock off both ends in the same operation.
It's a good plan. Since the criminals work in a circle, we will cover the circle.
In case it gets a little rugged for me, who's my contact?
Neely, agent in charge at Calexico.
And if I should get a knife in my back?
I'll call a doctor for you.
Well, I guess that's it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, good luck, and take care of yourself.
Thank you very much.
Adios, senor.
Adios, amigo. Good luck.
Thank you.